All right, you whip Parkinson's law, you win by default because your peers can't do it. Everything in the financial world, remember, is compared to what you're doing compared to what everybody else is doing. Most people in our whole continent can't whip Parkinson's law. They're addicted to that sort of stuff. That's why Clarence wrote the book about the world in the grip of an idea. They can't shake that thing. Well, you can if you get your mindset right, whatnot. It's being done. Well, if you do, you're going to run into Willie Suttons Law. Do y'all know who Willie was?
Yeah.
Bank robber.
Yeah, notorious bank robber. Actually, he was born in 1900, my same year my mother was born. Now, when he became of age, he took up a career in bank robbing. He would rob a bank, they'd catch him and put him in jail. He'd get out. The process was repeated so many times, he became notorious all over the USA. Somebody interviewed him for a magazine one time and said, Willie, why you keep robbing those banks? He says, well, that's where they keep the money. So, Suttons Law, wherever wealth is accumulated, somebody's going to try to steal it. First labor saving device will. Don't produce anything, just steal what those other guys produced. Now, who is the biggest thief in the world? Do y'all know?
Canada Revenue Agency.
CRS.
Well, I think the IRS is bigger. Because we got more people.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, biggest thief in the world. Well, Will, you might have the gut feeling that that's true, but if you can't articulate it to the uninitiated, you haven't done any good.
Yeah.
So this is what I do. Since old Stephen here lives in Washington, I'm going to invite him down to Birmingham, and I'll take him down to the Galleria shopping mall. I've never seen a shopping mall without a food court. Have you? They all have food courts, and about 11 o'clock on, there's people around food. So I take Stephen down there, get close to the food court. I stop, get everybody's attention, pull out a pistol, and put to Stephen's temple. Steve, give me the contents of your wallet. I'm going to blow your brains out. I don't know those people, Bob, but I can predict with absolute certainty how they will behave. They will say, Nellie is stealing from Stephen. That is wrong. Put Nellie in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but you let me get out of that crowd about an hour before he shows up. Let me talk to him how we're going to divide the contents of his wallet, distribute among ourselves, enforce that decision with a gun. Now they'll tell you that's democracy in action. That's what we got going on. Yeah. It's unbelievable the deterioration of the thought process that has occurred in my lifetime. Now, people understand this, that it's the greatest thief in the world, so forth, when you explain it correctly, and then they start weeping and wailing and gnashing their teeth. They say, oh, woe is me, I build up wealth, I do good, then those so-and-sos come steal from me. Well, pray tell who else they're going to steal from. They can't steal from the poor. The poor ain't got any money. But Will, the truth is exactly opposite. I'm an Austrian economist, remember. I spent 69 years studying this stuff. I have a piece in Warehouse of Wealth, and most of y'all have read that. Thank you for that. I explained this. It's called Lies, Lies, Lies. That chapter about lies, lies, lies. I'm riding down the interstate. 18-wheeler passes me. Transitions over to my lane. I'm riding behind him for about 15 minutes. And I see a sign on the back of his trailer. This truck paid $8,764 in taxes last year. And after a while, it finally dawned on my slow brain, that's a lie. That truck didn't pay those taxes. Did the owner of the truck line pay those taxes?
No.
Who paid the taxes?
Consumers.
It's always that way. Consumers pay for everything. There are no exceptions. But that's not what the general public thinks, is it? I went on to explain. Here's George Wallace running for re-election for governor in Alabama years ago. One of his speeches I remember very well. We're going to take it easy on you little guys for taxes. We're gonna sock it to Alabama Power instead. Darrell, Alabama Power could care less. Among other things, they're a public utility. They operate on a cost-plus basis. They are guaranteed to make a profit. The more they charge, the more they make. Now, you think U.S. citizens are going to catch on to that fact? Do you think Alabama citizens are going to catch on to that fact? No way. Because they listen to politicians. Noise. Well, I would know to explain. Here's this highly paid executive, Bob. He's changing jobs. He's applying for a new job. Now, he's got it figured out he can make it on $300,000 a year after taxes. That's all he can spend anyway. Now, he knows God, doggone good and well, he's got the negotiated package of $500,000. And all they have $300,000 left over to live on. The corporation signs on it and pays him the $500,000. Well, how does the corporation recover their money? Tell me. It's in the price of whatever they sell. Do we have any people that are estimators for a construction business in here?
I've done it before.
All right, well, you know something about it then. You know what? Can you tell them what an estimator does?
Well, an estimator's going to guess what the labor is going to take and the cost of the materials.
Yeah. And all the other things, all the
profit.
other things that involve it, including taxes that
Yes.
they're going to have to pay. And then he puts a margin of profit in there they expected to earn.
Right.
And then another little fudge factor, JIC.
Just in case.
Just in case. Well, didn't all the other bidders have to do the same thing?
If they don't, they're going to go out of business.
Yeah, of course. So who pays the taxes?
So businesses don't pay taxes, they collect taxes.
Exactly. There is no such thing as corporate taxes. But what do you hear out there on the idiot box? From the politicians. What do you hear?
We're gonna lower tax.
Huh? No, we're going to suck it to the corporations. So you won't have to pay it. It just shows up in higher prices, that's all. Again, they don't think at all. And do you think that government schools are going to teach you this? Good grief. But where do people send their kids to get indoctrinated? I didn't say educated. They spend enormous amounts of money to send them to colleges to get their brains fried. Yeah, Paul Cleveland, I told you, my Austrian economist friend at Birmingham Southern calls his fellow professors comrades. Now, I'm a singer. I got hooked on singing in choir churches, church choir rather, when I was 13. I can't quit. Now, the guy that we have at our church now, he's fantastic. He's the best I've ever seen. He reminds me of the Porsche automobile's motto. Y'all ever heard that? Porsche automobile's motto? Nothing even comes close. I just described Joe Hopkins. Nobody comes close. He's the head of the Department of Fine Arts at Stanford University, a private university. He was reading my book on the way back from a business trip one time, and we were in conversation sometime later. He said, that section you had in your book about the arrival syndrome, he says, you were describing academia, weren't you? So, real educators understand this. But, you know, they're going along with the system there. That's just what's going on, that's all. There are a few that use it as a place to just hang their hat. For instance, Tom DiLorenzo is one of my very best friends. He's an economist at Loyola in Baltimore. His hobby is history. He's written a number of fantastic books. And somebody gave him $250,000 here the other day to take on a project of history stuff. So that's their day job, you know, just to make groceries or whatever. But they do their work outside of it. Thank you very much. Thanks, Bay. All right, wait. I went on to explain to these people that I sell books. By the way, BYOB has sold over 300,000 copies. It's in 31 countries. Now, that means they gotta be shipped, whatever. Do I pay shipping costs?
No.
No way. My customer pays shipping costs. Always. Now, did you know I could sell my books for 40% less than what I charge for them? If it weren't for the IRS, it wouldn't mean a bit of difference. Y'all understand that? Okay, so I meet somebody for the first time, and every once in a while somebody's going to ask me, what do you do? Quite often I tell them I'm an unpaid IRS tax collector. Well, isn't that more accurate?
That's true enough.
See, you describe things accurately and behavior changes. Okay. All right, so worrying about Willie Sutton's Law isn't all that important. Learning how to live in that world by just succeeding is the name of the game. You gotta remember the golden rule. Y'all know the golden rule? Those that go, make the rule. Always has been, always will be. No exception. So your objective should be to create gold, wealth. When you do, you're going to improve other people's lives, and you did not intend to do that. Adam Smith, in his book, Wealth of Nations, 1776, he described the concept of the invisible hand. You go out there and do something to benefit you, you will invariably help other people that was not your intention. That's the way the free market works. This is the worst thing that can happen to anybody, though. I call it the arrival syndrome. When I already know everything, no point in trying to teach me something new. Borstein, the historian, said the greatest obstacle to discover the shape of the earth, the continents, and the oceans was not ignorance, it was the illusion of knowledge. Malcolm Forbes said the dumbest people I know are those that know it all. Y'all run into any know-it-alls? Yeah. Leonard Reed, my mentor, wrote about that lots. By the way, do y'all read banknotes? Yeah. I'm serializing one of his books, their vision. One chapter per month, and of course he talks about this phenomenon about know-it-alls, that how infested this world is with people who quote know-it-alls, and they inflict themselves upon ordinary citizens, and somehow or other people actually believe some of these people. Back there years ago, one of my real estate partnerships sold 13 acres to Bruno's grocery store. They started up business in about 1959, 6th Avenue South in Birmingham. That store worked. They cranked up another store in another part of town. Then what happened? Tell me.
Duplicate.
And
Again. Don't fix it, it's not broken.
Yes, keep on. Well, before long, they had 150 stores in the southeast United States. All right, we sold them 13 acres to build a store. I thought that I had the perfect entree to teach them banking through life insurance. Talking to the chief financial officer. Anybody want to tell me how long I lasted in his office?
3 minutes.
Oh, I'm better than that. I'm better than that. We had a cup of coffee, man, live.
Give him some credit.
It was less than 15, we put it that way. I was thrown out. Who are you to talk to us about our business? We are the epitome of how it's done. Boy, did they get their comeuppance in just about 3 years. That was a family-owned business, folks. The three real brains of the company had a real bad habit between Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving and Christmas, rather. Thanksgiving and Christmas. All three guys would get in the same airplane and fly to some other city where there's a bunch of stores, get out, go deliver the bonus checks to the managers, glad handed back, slap the other employees and say, man, what a great job y'all did this year. Let's do a better job next year. Go back and get in the airplane and go to the next city, etc. Y'all know where Atlanta, Georgia is? Northwest of Atlanta is Rome, Georgia. We don't have mountains there like you have here. There's hills. They're high enough to catch airplanes no matter what. Y'all know the definition of a mountain? A mountain is 2,000 feet local relief. Wherever the base is, from that base, okay, let's dramatize it. Denver, y'all know about Denver?
Yeah.
Mile High City? Yeah, but how high are the mountains? 14,000 feet. Well, subtract 5. They're not all that tall. The highest local relief is down around Palm Springs, Florida, Palm Springs, California. The elevation there is about below sea level in a few places. But yet the mountains at 12,000 feet or so. Y'all got mountains like that? All right.
Yeah.
So, they delivered the checks there in Monroe. They were going to Nashville or someplace like that. There was an overcast out there, and so got to fly instruments. Well, there's two sets of shooting instrument approaches. They can't get a clearance. Y'all understand that? He understands. They can't get a clearance. Not till those guys landed or went somewhere else. Well, the pilots had been flying earlier that day. They knew that solid overcast was thin. And I can see their thought process right now. We know about that. Let's just take off visual flight rules underneath it. Go out here a while and pop up through it, and we're just there just for a few seconds, and we go on to the next city. Plan worked real good till they ran inside one of those hills.
All three died.
All three died. All right. KK, they had less than 1/10 of the amount of life insurance they should have owned on those three people. You see the result. There's the empty warehouse that's been there for 20-something years now.
Is that on the land that you sold for 13 acres?
No, this is their warehouse where they've been operating for years and whatnot. But that's only 1/3 of it. Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't have a wide enough lens up there. That's 1/3 of it.
Wow.
All right. KKR bought them out. KKR didn't know anything about running a grocery business. Somebody else bought them out. Now it's non-existent, whatnot. But, you know, we the epitome of how it's done. That is the epitome of the arrival syndrome. And you cannot penetrate this kind of thing. They got to learn the hard way or somehow discover it on their own. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. Find somebody that is willing to learn is the best procedure, in my opinion. All right, so this is Sir Francis Drake's prayer before he set out to be the first man instructor to navigate the world in Portsmouth, England, 1577. Disturb us, O Lord, when we're too well pleased with ourselves, when we've dreams have come true because we dream too little, when we arrive safely because we sail too close to the shore. Disturb us, O Lord, with the abundance of things we possess. We lost our thirst for the waters of life, having fallen in love with life, we cease to dream of eternity. In our efforts to build a new earth, we've allowed our vision of a new heaven to dim. Disturb us, O Lord, to dare more boldly. Venture on wider seas where storms will show your mastery. Where losing sight of land, we'll find the stars. We ask you to push back the horizon of our hopes. Push us into the future in strength, courage, hope, and love. This we ask in the name of our captain, who is Jesus Christ. I can't describe the arrival syndrome any better than what he's talking about there. Avoid the arrival syndrome. That is the worst thing that can happen in your life. Keep on learning. I named it infinite for a reason. The more you see you didn't see.
Mm-hmm.
It's a continuous discovery process, as you shall see tomorrow. All right, the last one is what I call use it or lose it. Mark 4:25 in the New Testament says, "He that hath, to him shall be given. He that hath not, from him shall be taken, even that which he hath." You don't believe that? That's Jesus Christ describing the kingdom of heaven to disciples. I paraphrase it this way. He said, "Boys, this is the way it is. Those that have get. If you got it, if you don't use it, you're going to lose it." Demonstrate that on a smaller platform here. You know Joe Pantozzi, don't you?
Yeah.
Dwayne, you know Joe Pantozzi. All right, I'm doing a seminar in Las Vegas for him a few years ago, and Justin, there was a Delta Airlines captain there on the front row, and we got to this point, said, "Sir, which seat are you in the airplane in the cockpit, left or right?" Y'all know the difference?
One's pilot, one's co-pilot.
Yeah.
Left
Who's
seat's
on the left side?
left seat's the captain.
Both of them know how to fly the airplane very well, don't they, Mark?
You better know how to fly the damn thing, Mom.
Yes, sir. Do y'all know what the difference in the pay scale is? Let's just say significant.
That's
So
why you want to get your 4 bars.
yeah. So which seat are you in? Left. If you don't maintain proficiency in that 767, what's going to happen to you? It says, "I won't be flying left seat anymore." Use it or lose it. You got to maintain proficiency. See, that's kind of going in line with that 5th rule there of rethink your thinking. Always read the checklist, stuff like that. All right. IBC is a totally different paradigm. It's really a personal monetary system.